Get to the portal! Now!
Scheiße. Well, this shit pisses me the fuck off. Why the... Bye.
What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today what I have for you guys is a reaction to a new video that was posted by my good buddy Zazu for the Win, where he analyzes all of the secrets behind the Blood of the Dead Easter egg. I'm also wearing my Blood of the Dead t-shirt today, since that perfectly fits the theme of the video. But I will also have his link down below in the description. He's very close to 1,000 subs. Let's help him out by hitting that. And also, the video link will also be down below in case you guys want to watch it without my reaction. But without further ado, let's jump right into it.
What is going on, guys? My name is Zazu, and welcome back to a brand new video.
Hey.
Today's video took quite a bit of time to put together because I wanted to make sure the information I had for this video was correct, so I had to compare them with other types of information.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
And whatnot. But today's video is mainly about the Blood of the Dead Easter egg and how it incorporates some of Alcatraz's real history. And
Loving the
I find
animation.
it pretty interesting, so I'm going to discuss it in today's video. But anyhow, let's get right into it. To start this off, we'll be talking about Robert Stroud, known as the Birdman of Alcatraz. Robert Stroud had two adjoining cells as a lab where he would study birds. He found an injured bird in their recreation yard and then began to take care of it and collect
what a
it.
nice
He raised
guy,
about
man.
300 total birds in his cell,
Damn.
which is absolutely crazy. And I honestly think this was an inspiration to the bird step and the Blood of the Dead Easter egg. Was having him in there. He wrote a couple books about birds, and he was very interested in canaries, so I think Treyarch definitely took notice of that and added the bird step in. A fun fact too is the most common bird in Alcatraz Island is the western gull. Another interesting thing is the seagull meaning focuses on the need to find ways to survive and doing even the uncomfortable just to succeed, which kind of reminds me of the premise in Mob of the Dead crew in a way, and I thought that was pretty interesting and it has some correlation to it. Now, this
That's ironic
next
considering
one,
the
some of
bird
you guys
holds
may
the
have
crenorium.
watched or maybe heard of the movie Murder in the First. That's actually about the story. Henry Young becomes a madman after 3 years in a segregation cell, stabs McCain to death with a spoon handle in the New Industries building. Now that name McCain rings a bell in everyone's mind that knows a zombie storyline, right?
Buddy Peter.
But funny enough, in the Blood of the Dead Easter egg, we know we stop a ghost with a spoon heading to New Industries. To kill the other ghost, we stop it by buying the trap. I think this step was heavily inspired by the actual history, which I still find it pretty interesting how Treyarch incorporates the history of Alcatraz into the Easter eggs and whatnot, and it just shows that they really take time and show care into their Easter egg stuff. However, moving on, I'm sure this name will ring a bell in almost anyone's mind that maybe knows U.S. history, but Al Capone played the banjo in the inmate band in Alcatraz. Al Capone was probably one of the most famous inmates in Alcatraz, but as we know, in the showers while doing the Easter egg, you fill up the banjo with souls in the Ring of Fire, which is definitely connected to Al Capone playing the banjo in the inmate band, which is really cool how they connected that into the Easter egg, and it actually makes me respect the Easter egg more by how they know the facts about Alcatraz adds them into the Easter egg. This is like information you won't learn from actually doing the Easter egg. You kind of have to know these things, and that's really cool how they do it. I would also like to add down where the coin is in the brew machine on Blood of the Dead. Near where that coin is located, a 12-year-old girl fell down the steps and sadly passed away from that. But the coin could be playing homage to the occupation of Alcatraz. However, there is speculation right now that that coin is an unsolved side Easter egg, or once was a side Easter egg but now it's cut. I think it is possibly to pay homage to that little girl that fell, and I think that's something to consider, so I just kind of wanted to let you guys know that little fun fact there. However, if you guys are interested in learning more information about these things, I'll have links down below. You can go deeper with this information. However, if you guys have Disney Plus, I recommend this documentary that is on there. Recommend that documentary. If you do have Disney Plus, I'd give that a watch if you're interested.
I watched that one.
You can also find documentaries on YouTube, but you got to be careful because some of them are inaccurate.
Fake
so
news.
Make sure if you're going to watch a documentary or read something, make sure it's from a reliable source. But there were some things that somewhat indirectly connected, but I only wanted to talk about the ones that directly connected to the Alcatraz history. And what do you guys find most interesting out of this? Let me know in the comment section down below. Anyhow, hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, make sure you drop a like and subscribe if you are new.
That's great,
Anyhow,
man.
I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.
You put a little message in there. Yeah, we did the Blood of the Dead Easter egg with him right before he started editing the video. That was really, really well put together. So, huge shout out to Zazu for doing that for the Zombies community. I mean, he kept it sweet and short, got straight to the point, went over all of these historical facts, and just looking at how Treyarch does their homework before they make a zombie map. Like, if the zombie map takes place in an area that is based on a real-life event or real-life location, for example, Voyage of Despair, right? The Titanic, there's so much history with that, and they clearly did their homework when it comes to incorporating side Easter eggs and ciphers that relate to things that actually happen on that damn boat, right? And I think when it comes to Blood of the Dead, though, it's cool how they incorporated a lot of history into Mob of the Dead. You know, they had a bunch of Easter eggs calling back to the actual prison. And Blood of the Dead, they expanded on that with the main Easter egg by referring to specific prisoners that did certain things. And I think that's really creative of them. Now, I do think Treyarch probably has the most fun making maps that are based on real life events or real life locations, because they have to do a lot of homework, right? Adapting certain things that happen into a map, whereas a map like Kino or a map like Zetsubo, they're kind of just being creative with their own storyline, their own mythology. But making maps that are, you know, from real life events, I think is a big challenge for them, which they've perfectly overcome over the past couple of years. Now, what's funny about Blood of the Dead is, like, with maps like Zetsubo and Gorod, we have a similar setup with the Easter egg where you have to do certain sets of challenges, and Blood of the Dead doubles down on that. But what I like the most about Blood of the Dead's Easter egg is that each and every step or each and every quest you go on during the actual main Easter egg is based on a story from a real life prisoner that went to Alcatraz. So it makes me respect that Easter egg a lot more, just as Zazu said, because it's not just doing a bunch of random Easter eggs and a bunch of random steps that are just there to be there, right? They actually pertain to real life history. So it makes me enjoy the Easter egg a lot more, knowing that Treyarch put passion into each of the steps, even if many people out there don't agree with some of the decisions Treyarch made with Blood of the Dead. The only thing I don't like, I think, is the fact that you have to go to round 17 to wait for an EMP Brutus unless you get monkeys beforehand, where you can then throw the monkey up by the attic and then have Brutus do his slam on the monkey to open up the secret room where the warden's body is. But besides that, I think the Easter egg does flow pretty well if you know the map. If you know how to play Black Ops 4 properly, it's not that bad. Now, it does get a little tedious when you have to find the bird 4 different times and you have to pass around once the bird moves, right? That does suck. It would have been better if, like, you could do all of that on one round. That might have made me respect the step itself a lot more. And also the fact that you do need like a million shield blasts to actually do the main Easter egg, right? It's not hard to get shield blast. You can obviously find the shocking afterlife box to get more. You can upgrade the shield to hold up to 4 blasts. So it's not the hardest thing in the world, but does make the Easter egg a little annoying. And I think a lot of people could agree with that, despite the Easter egg having some cool history behind it. Now, if the Golden Gate Bridge or the Icarus Plane were a part of the main Easter egg, then that would automatically throw away any issue I have with the actual main Easter egg on Blood, in my opinion, right? Because if they had things like that, it's obviously a perfect callback to Mob of the Dead, and it would, I think, help people cope better with the changes that are made in the remake, right? Because I think getting rid of the Golden Gate Bridge and the Icarus Plane, we're like, all right, now we're just left with the island itself, right? And that's it. And if you don't like the island, then you're not going to like the map. But if you were a big fan of the Golden Gate Bridge or the plane from Mob of the Dead, and that was on Blood, it would give you something to actually enjoy when you actually play this map in Black Ops 4. But, again, I fully agree with Zazu respecting this Easter egg more after doing his homework. And again, there actually is a documentary on Disney Plus, if you guys have that subscription service, that talks about how the process could have went down for the, 3 or 4 mysterious inmates that escaped the prison and were never seen again. Now, there's rumors that they eventually wrote letters and were seen again, in, I think it was in San Francisco somewhere, or they might have moved to New York, whatever it was. But as of right now, they were never found. So that's a big mystery. There's a whole documentary about it. I'll definitely have information about that in the description. Now, the biggest thing to take away, though, is the 12-year-old girl that fell down the steps where the brew machine actually is located. Now, I believe the girl was Native American or Indian, which could explain the culture on the coin itself, right? You could see like some type of Native American or some type of Indian with like a wolf helmet on or whatever that is. So, as I said before in my Unsolved Easter Eggs video, it could just be a reference to that event that took place. My only question is, why take the coin out on custom mutations? What is the purpose behind that, right? Is there something more to it? Now, big shout out again to my good buddies Sky and Absolem, who also did their homework on this coin many months ago. I know I heard, a couple of things about the little girl falling down the steps, but I wasn't sure if that could be connected to the coin. But it can't be a coincidence that the coin, out of all of the places on the map, is located in that specific area by the new industries, right? So that's really interesting. Hopefully some leads are found on the coin some point soon, either through data mining or through some legit hunting. I feel like everything has honestly been tested, unless there's something that we're just not seeing. We're not thinking outside the box enough. I'm not sure what else we could test in terms of the coin. But, with the Birdman, right, having 300 birds. What a nice guy. He took care of a bird that was injured, then eventually took care of about 300. It's kind of ironic considering there are about 30 bird locations for that step, but having 30 bird locations in that step is a bit ridiculous, I would say, right? And it makes guides, speedruns, it makes all of that content really difficult for the map. But I do love how they did, pay a nice reference to that on the map. Now, the seagull has this meaning that has to do with surviving and being uncomfortable while you do that. And I think, as we said, a nice reference to both the Primus crew and the Mob of the Dead crew that had to go through a lot in that damn prison, in the little pocket dimension of hell, because of Brutus and the Shadow Man, which is really cool. And again, my only issue with the Easter egg is probably just having to get monkeys and then also having to do that bird step on 4 different rounds. I mean, it gets a bit annoying, but I think once you get to the actual challenges, that's when you can have more fun with the main Easter egg. But again, the tip of the iceberg would have been going to the Golden Gate Bridge or flying the plane for whatever part. And maybe if Treyarch had more time to make Black Ops 4, that would have been the case. But because they had to rush as much as possible to get that map out, that's probably why a lot of cool things weren't implemented like that. Also, the movie that inspired the step with the ghost killing another ghost with the spoon handle, I think that's awesome because it could be a golden scalpel reference. Because I know, you could have the spoon or the golden spork, paying a reference to that movie. But I think having the handle of a spoon, the golden scalpel, that's really interesting because during that actual side Easter egg, which is by far one of the coolest Easter eggs Treyarch has ever done in one of their maps, you have to go through quite a bit just to get the golden scalpel, and then that's pretty overpowered, right? You could, get the elemental effect on zombies, right? AATs will activate when you knife zombies with the scalpel, but then you can upgrade that again to the spork knife. So I think the scalpel being on the map is a perfect reference to somebody in the movie killing another inmate with the handle of a spoon, right? Also based on real life events. So that's really cool that the actual scalpel and spork knife have some meaning on Blood of the Dead. And last but not least, Al Capone with the banjo. I'm from Chicago. I've done a lot of research on Al Capone. He was obviously notorious in the city of Chicago and did quite a few bad things. Obviously one of the most known gangsters or mobsters in the world. So him playing the banjo in Alcatraz really fits the person that he was, I think. And it is cool that they, put a little reference into that in the Blood of the Dead Easter egg. But I think the banjo history behind that step was known a little more than some of the other things Zaz went over in his video. But that is about it. This has been DK Dynamite. Check all links down below in the description. Let me know what you guys think about the history of the Blood of the Dead Easter egg. Do you respect the main Easter egg a lot more now that you watch Zazu's video? Also be sure to hit that subscribe button on his channel. Help him hit 1,000 subs. Really means a lot. Him and I will be doing a Richtofen's Journal podcast every weekend. So be sure to check out that down below in the description as well. And I also have a link to any of the other Richtofen's Journal podcasts we've done in case you missed any of them. But really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.